Hi guys, and welcome to the second official Popheads podcast. This is the third one that we've recorded, but the second one is lost to time, so here we are. Apologies for the delay. You can blame one of your fellow mods for that. Insert Megan emoji here. I'm Rihanna, aka 4th of July, as you know me on this lovely subreddit.
Hi, I'm David, aka Commas.
There is no Santa Claus or Punk. The new guy.
Okay, I'm Doc, or you may know me as Doctor Who and How Doctor Who and Why. Oh, I butchered my username, but whatever.
Hi, There is no Santa Claus or Punk.
All right. Yeah. So this is a mod-only podcast, just the four of us.
This Nazi mods.
Yeah, I know. We're just taking everything over. Cap and Tuck both couldn't make it this time, as couldn't Edric. So here we are. Woo!
This is my first podcast. Yay!
Yeah.
And my first.
So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. First topic, Katy Perry, which is fitting considering as we're recording all of this promo for Bon Appetit is going around. So, what are your thoughts on KP4 so far, which is only Chained to the Rhythm?
Oh,
That cover is terrible.
For Bon Appetit?
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah. Oh God, it's terrible. Why, Katie?
Her head.
But
it's so photoshopped on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So y'all know what a Katy stan I am, but the cover art is just tragic. But I'm very hyped for the song. I love Katy. I love Migos. I am pretty excited.
Oh, it's with Migos?
Yeah, it is apparently, which is weird.
That's wild. Yeah, it's odd. But, I mean, in that case, it'll probably guarantee her, like, a top 20, top 15 hit, considering how big Migos are right now.
Mm-hmm. As someone who's not very familiar with their music, and I just only heard a couple of... I mean, it was pretty big when they made some comment about gay people or whatnot. Unlike a couple of other people, I'm not that pissed. I'm not that pissed as much. I do understand why they were like, "Oh no, Katy, why are you collabing with them?" But I tend to separate the art from the artist, so it's not much of an issue for me. And honestly, I don't care that much. I just hope the song is good. That's what I'm hoping for. But the cover art is so tragic. Oh my God! I just hope the song is good, so I can buy it on iTunes.
I mean,
yeah.
Chained to the Rhythm was a very promising first single and probably my favorite Katy Perry lead single, like, ever. So I have pretty high hopes for this album, and considering it's the only song that we've heard so far, I hope it lives up to expectations.
Yeah, Katy is really taking her time in this era, and I think that really pissed off a lot of her fans. And speaking as another Katy stan, it's not just commasyeah. I'm not that particularly bothered by how long she's taking with this new era of hers. I think that's probably because I had other things to be hyped up for, and both pop related and non-pop related. I think you guys know me that I'm excited for this one particular indie movie. Not gonna get into it, but I'm just not that bothered by I don't know really, but I'm just glad Katy is definitely releasing a second single finally. So yeah, I really hope Bon Appetit is good. That's all I'm hoping.
What about you, Punk?
I would be honest, Chained to the Rhythm might be my favorite Katy Perry song, period. I'm not a Katy Perry fan at all.
Wow.
I didn't do the Teenage Dream rate, but my score for it was like 4. I don't really like much of her songs. I like the one that got away. That's a bop. That's a great song. But I really like Chained to the Rhythm, which makes it funny because, like, nobody else seems to like it. And I guess that makes me kind of hyped for the album.
No, I get that. It's like, it feels sort of like, not necessarily a niche album, because that album's being, like, not that album, that song is being done by, like, a bunch of artists with, like, reinventing their sound, kind of, and then putting out this weird, like, 70s, 80s influenced like song. Like Charlie Puth just did it with Attention, and I really like that song despite hating Charlie Puth. Yeah, The Weeknd. Yeah, everybody is changing their sound like that.
Throwback ballads aren't really Bruno's changing. He's been doing that for like 5 years, but still.
No, but like 24 Karat Magic, it's like piggybacking off of Uptown Funk, but like at the same time, it's kind of like taking these 70s soul things, and like that's totally different from what he was doing on Unorthodox Jukebox. I can't talk today. I'm sorry. I'll edit this.
Unorthodox Jukebox was kind of like, yeah, it was kind of like a mix of sounds.
Yeah.
There was like so much different stuff on there. Like, let me try and... Yeah, When I Was Your Man was like a cheesy ballad. Yeah, Treasure. Yeah.
Treasure is probably the precursor to like Bruno's new stuff, but
Also a great song.
it's also an amazing song. Probably my favorite Bruno song. But anyway, yeah, on the topic of new releases coming out, Lorde is coming eventually.
Oh yeah.
June something or other, I believe.
19th, I want to say.
Yes.
16th. I just pulled it up. So
Okay, nice.
Melodrama is supposed to come out June 16th. We have heard Green Light and Liability thus far, and she's also premiered new songs at Coachella. So personally, I am so excited for the direction that she's taking with this.
Yeah.
I think she's definitely
very
furthering
excited,
her
too.
sound. Yeah. And also, this may be like an unpopular opinion, but I stan Jack Antonoff. So I'm pretty hyped for what's going to happen with her music. Anybody else?
I don't think Jack Antonoff is that bad. For me, I do think
He's not.
He's not. But I Don't Want to Live Forever, which he produced, is definitely tragic. But I really like Green Light very much. I think that's like one of my favorite Lorde songs so far. I don't know. Thing is, I like Pure Heroine. As you can see, I mean, I did host a raid that involves her album, but I have always preferred the sound of the Love Club more than Pure Heroine. So when I heard Green Light, I'm like, oh, this is definitely the Lorde that I actually want. Something poppy, but yet what makes Lorde unique to me. So I'm definitely very interested. I'm definitely hyped for her album Melodrama, especially after her Coachella performance.
I've had a bit of a love-hate relationship with Greenlight. At first, I loved it. I couldn't stop playing it. I played it like 25 times the day it came out. And then just eventually I got a little tired of it. And basically, the one part of the song I don't like that much is just the beat in the pre-chorus. I've thought the piano was like a little out of place. I know, right?
Yo.
No.
But I've just started playing it again, partially because of how perfectly that song was used in the New Girl season finale, which I stan unabashedly. And so I'm kind of hype again. And then Liability is also great. I mean, it's nothing too crazy, the emotional ballad style, but it sounds great just because of her voice, which I love. And then when I saw her Coachella performance, I was just so excited to hear Sober and Homemade Dynamite in CD quality because they sounded amazing.
Yeah.
Homemade Dynamite is single-handedly what's making me so excited for this album. That song was so good.
I really loved her Coachella performance so much. And she did this performance for Ribs, yeah, and she performed it under the context of Melodrama, and I think that's when the song began growing on me a lot. Is the song is about growing up, which a lot of us are scared about, and she performed it in that context of Melodrama. And I don't know. I remember yesterday I was adding the new flares and all, and I happened to listen to hearing Ribs, and I was not gonna lie, I almost wanted to cry. I don't know why, but I feel like fuck, growing up is scary. So, and I was in the middle of adding flares, and yeah, that's how I feel.
I don't like green light at all.
Oh, man.
Like, I'm the resident green light hater.
Oh my god.
And I didn't really like Liability that much either. And I don't like Jack Antonoff, so basically I'm the reverse of everything. I haven't really listened to Bleachers much, so I can't really judge that half of Jack Antonoff's work, but I really don't like Greenlight.
Yeah, my fandom of Jack Antonoff comes from Bleachers more than anything, because I listened to Bleachers, and that album is amazing, Strange Desire. Please listen to it if you have the time. But I listened to it, and then I started getting into his production, which is probably why I can appreciate it more. But, like, I don't understand how somebody can hate Jack Antonoff. Like, that perplexes me.
Have you never heard Out of the World?
Okay. That's
Fuck
the
that
one
song.
Taylor Swift song I actually enjoy.
It deserved more.
I hate that song.
I gave it like
first rate.
I gave it like a 9 in the rate too. Like,
I mean, to be honest,
I love it.
the production on Out of the Woods isn't the part that's terrible. I don't really like it. It's like kind of just there. The lyrics kind of show on that song, but
Yeah.
Greenlight, oh my god. I feel like I've said so much on this. I feel like it's the first Lorde song that I could have seen anybody performing. And Liability,
really?
I feel the same about it.
Oh,
I
interesting.
just don't like it.
I don't see any artists singing a song that is like Greenlight. I think that's because Lorde knows how to make her songs unique. That I just don't see anyone else doing it.
I didn't really see anything unique about Greenlight to me. I'm just being honest.
I mean, I personally don't think it's really nothing unique. It's just good in my opinion. It's nothing special, but it's just a good song.
I'm not saying stuff has to be unique to be good.
Yeah, I
just didn't really find anything about Greenlight that I liked much. Especially, and this isn't saying that like I don't like Lorde in general. I love Pure Heroine. It's a great album. I love pretty much every song on that album. I just didn't really see what I got from Pure Heroine in Melodrama. And this isn't nothing about this is like just like, oh, this isn't what I wanted to hear. This is fun. I hate this, because that's actually doomed me in the past. Like that's how I went with To Pimp a Butterfly when it first came out. But this feels different. This just doesn't feel like the Lorde I wanted to hear, which might sound selfish, but
See, I feel like part of it comes from the fact that Lorde was the first, not necessarily the first on radio, but like the first to get big doing her sound. And like looking at it today, the charts are very oversaturated with like pop teen girls that are all doing the, oh, I don't belong here, I'm different sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where it seems
Shout out to Halsey.
oversaturated. Yeah, like Halsey,
Alessia Cara.
Daya, whatever, Alessia. All of those people are
Kiara.
doing the same thing. Yep. All like they're all doing the same sound that Lorde did with Royals when she hit up the charts, and then with Team, and then with Tennis Court. Like they're all taking that sound and they're all like making it to the point where it's not new anymore. Like it's just a trend where Lorde started that trend. And now looking at it in comparison, it seems whatever Lorde's doing is like seems generic and basic because everyone else is doing it.
Right.
I see that viewpoint.
Like that's kind of what I thought.
I would like to think that Lorde is a trendsetter, just like in Gaga terms, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That she started this thing. So it's a good thing to think about, I guess. Yeah.
But like it's the same thing with songs like, I don't know if it was necessarily the first to hit radio, but it was the first song that I noticed like that, like Cheap Thrills. That is like that was a wildly popular tropical house song. And then after that, I was like, oh, this is really good. You know what I mean? Like, this is weird. This is summery. This is different. And now we look at it today, like a year later, and the charts are so oversaturated with trop pop and stuff like that, where it's like, it's exhausting. And I listen to Cheap Thrills now, and in comparison, I'm like, oh my God, another tropical pop song.
Damn.
Like, it's the thing where it gets oversaturated because the sound gets so big, it seems like basic when you look at it in a grand scale.
I see it. I just feel like Lorde could have gone in a more interesting direction than she's gone. As a response, like obviously, if she just made another Pure Heroine, it would have been like, well, we already got this, and a million people have been trying to remake this sound. But I feel like her response to it wasn't exactly the best it could have been.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of her going in a more interesting direction that's unique from both Pure Heroine and what's happening now on the charts, I think I'm pretty sure it was Sober, not Homemade Dynamite, but her sober performance at Coachella, it sounded so cool. It had a mix of like trap drums and also strings, and it just sounded beautiful, and I can't wait to hear that.
Yo, that was that one? I didn't know what song that was. That did
was
that.
Sober, right? I think it was Sober.
Oh my god, I just remembered that. I was shook.
Yeah, same. I was fully shook.
Like, I texted half my friends when I heard that. I was like, oh my god, are you watching Lorde's Coachella performance right now? Because that just happened.
She just did that.
Okay, so, yeah, moving on.
I still have one thing to talk about Lorde, and I kind of need to know your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
So, Melodrama is actually going to be a concept album set in a single party.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I was going to mention that. For me, that sounds very interesting. I can't wait to hear her take on this whole thing. I feel like she's someone who could handle an album like this very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And have a concise, cohesive narrative and just be really good.
Yeah,
I think Lorde knows how to handle a cohesive sound with her album, so I'm very interested how Melodrama works, especially in the context that, in the setting where it's set in a single house party.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like because considering how her fame is growing and all, I feel like she felt like, oh, maybe I should write an album that is set within a house party or whatever. So
I think it's an interesting idea. I just hoping she actually can pull it off. I haven't really heard that much in the 2 songs she's released, but maybe it's gonna come across more.
Yeah.
Gotta hear the whole album.
Yeah.
So, speaking of great Coachella performances, there has been a bunch of loose singles that have released since our last podcast, but more particularly in the past couple months, few weeks. One of these stemming from Gaga's first Coachella performance, The Cure. What are your thoughts on this song? Because I have some strong opinions.
Ooh.
Okay, I have an opinion. As a huge Gaga stan, as you haven't noticed already, I'm a little bit shocked at how Gaga decided to do a type of song that everyone else has been doing.
Yes.
I think that also brings up that conversation we just talked about trop pop and all. But honestly, I used to think this song was trop pop, but after giving this a couple more listens, it's definitely not maybe a bit, but definitely not a full-on trop pop song. I'm just a little bit shocked because I do feel like Gaga can do this better. And because it's really shocking because Gaga is like a trailblazer in everything, from her sound, from her looks since her debut. So it just comes up as shocking for me, and I would have to say this song is generic. However, just because the song is generic doesn't mean it's bad. The production is good, Gaga's vocals are amazing, and it's definitely a good song still. It's just maybe it's just me being nitpicky. If you compare The Cure to Guy or GUY or literally any other song from art pop, it just feels there. It's definitely not Gaga's best songs.
See, I disagree with the art pop statement.
Okay.
My opinions on this song are very, very clear. I am thoroughly disappointed. This song breaks my heart. I listened to it twice and then I was like, I can't listen to this anymore because it bothers me so much. I don't know how. I was a big fan of Joanne. I'm still a big fan of Joanne. I think
same.
Some of her a couple of her best songs are on Joanne, like Angel Down and Grevio Girls and stuff, but this is not the time to talk about Joanne. The time to talk about The Cure. And I think that coming off of Joanne, I was really appreciating the maturity of her sound and how it has developed from art pop to Joanne to whatever was coming next. And I saw some of that segue from the maximalist experimental things that she was doing in art pop to the minimalist sort of thing that she was going for in Joanne. And I was totally confused as to what Gaga was doing next because she's always reinvented herself and the genre and whatever she's doing.
Yeah.
And then she released this, and as soon as I heard those tropical house sort of marimba weird vibe things in the beginning, I was like shook, and not in a good way. Like I heard those on the performance and I really like audibly groaned because I do not like tropical pop. I don't like tropical house, all of that stuff I do not enjoy a lot or at all. So I heard those and it made me sad that Gaga would go down to such a generic, basic thing. Like it feels like she sold out.
Yeah.
And I know it's just one song, but like even looking at this, like going all the way back to like the Fame and stuff, like she innovated pop with the Fame, and that's not like a Stan Twitter kind of like esque statement. Like she changed pop music with that album, and then continued to do it with the Fame Monster, and then Born This Way, and kind of the sounds on Born This Way took what she was going to do on Art Pop and Joanne, and like those were the early stages of it. The Cure piggybacks on like 7 different artists and 7 different songs, and none of them wholly original in themselves. And then taking all those different sounds and stuff and putting them together, it doesn't sound right. It sounds like anything else on the charts, and that like bothers me a lot because I know Gaga is capable of doing better. Like she's better than just to put out a regular tropical house song. And I don't know what's coming. I don't know if this is a preview for her EP supposedly that's coming up, or a preview for her next album, but like if this is the lead single, whatever, segueing away from Joanne, I'm like disappointed because I know she could have, 1, done so much more with Joanne, and 2, could have developed a better sound.
Honestly, I would like to hear more tracks like Joanne, if I have to be honest. I know it's kind of a divisive album. I mean, we have seen how the songs performed in Let's All Pooh's Raid, but I really want to hear more sounds like more songs like we heard from Joanne.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of the criticisms here. I listened to The Cure in full for the first time today, and I really just thought, like, a lot of this, it's generic, it's formulaic, it feels like after a lot of the Joanne singles underperformed and the album didn't sell as much as her previous work, it feels like they're like backpedaling, honestly. It feels like they're trying to just like get her back in the public mind, especially with the Coachella performance, and they're dropping this generic song that might not even do well at the charts. Like it feels like this song isn't really that much of an event. No. It feels like it's already kind of like disappeared.
It already feels like, I think that comes from like the sound kind of being on its way out already, that piggybacking on it this late really isn't going to do much for her.
It feels forgettable. It's a very forgettable song. Like one thing that Lady Gaga out of any artist shouldn't be is forgettable. And I didn't think Joanne was that good of an album. I thought there was a few good songs, but like I can probably like think of most songs in Joanne, and I can probably know I can look at a track list and I can say, well, I know what that song sounds like. I listened to The Cure like an hour ago, and I don't honestly know at all what it sounds like. If you asked me to like, even just singing a line from it, I don't think it's a very good song.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad song really. Like it's not the worst thing you'd hear on the radio, but it just feels weird that Lady Gaga of all people would be the one to copy this trend at like the end of this trend being relevant. So I think the song is like a 6 or 7 out of 10, but I'm still fairly excited to see if she does something actually new or different next song.
Like I don't know where she's gonna go, because if she's backpedaling and it feels like she's just trying to get on the radio again with this single, and if she's gonna keep doing that, I don't know what's gonna develop. Like, I don't know what's going to develop out of her sound. So on hopefully a more positive note, I've heard this single get pretty much like virtual praise. Lana's collaboration with The Weeknd on the new single Lust for Life, the title track from her album coming out, I believe, on... When is her album coming out?
It's not officially confirmed, but it's likely to be released on May 25. According to some source, but it's not officially confirmed by Lana, but it could be, but who knows.
But Lust for Life, I am very excited for this album, but this song is actually like, it grows on me. Like the first time I listened to it, I was like, oh, this is plain, because my favorite Lana songs are like Diet Mountain Dew and like Off to the Races, the stuff where it sounds like different and weird. But like the more I listen to this, the more I fall in love with it and everything. It's such a good song, and The Weeknd adds a lot to it, which I appreciate.
Totally.
I totally agree. I really like Lust for Life and Love, and I'm excited for this era of, wow, we have a strange new happy Lana. And
Happy Lana is giving me life.
yeah, and so I really do like Lust for Life, and I think that Lust for Life is the second best collab between Abel and Lana after Stargirl, which I really loved.
Oh, I love Stargirl so much.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Lana Slavey.
Yeah. So anyway, Lana and The Weeknd, OTP.
They should collab more or probably get married. Sorry, Selena, but goddamn, Lana and Abel, they have chemistry together.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no denying that. Yeah.
What about you, Punk?
I'm gonna be the asshole hater again. God damn it.
Oh man.
Oh man.
See, that's why we need
Such
a
a
devil's
Debbie
advocate
Downer.
on this podcast.
Damn it. Well, the thing is, like, I don't really like Lust for Life, as would probably be made obvious by what I'm saying. But, like, I feel like I don't, like, have enough of, like, an opinion on it. Like, I listened to it just, like, along with The Cure and preparing for this, like, it's just, like, I don't know. I didn't like Love much either. I was kind of bored with both of these singles, and I'm not, like, a Lana hater either. I didn't really like either of their previous collaborations that much. I thought they were both kind of meh. But Lana has made music that I really do enjoy, like National Anthem and National Anthem. But yeah, this single, it didn't do much for me. I really, really like The Weeknd too.
Maybe it'll grow on you. I don't know. It grew on me like a lot. The first time I listened to Love too, I was like, this is so plain. I don't know what it is. And I think it just grew on me to like, I'm really excited for this era. It seems very grand, and it reminds me of like movie soundtracks from like the 1950s, which I know is her whole aesthetic, but like soundtracks and stuff.
1950s daddies, that's her aesthetic.
Yeah. So I know this will be short and sweet because I know for a fact 2 of the people on this podcast have not listened to this song.
Guilty.
But yeah, Paramore's new single, Hard Times, I am really impressed with this. But you all know I stan Paramore from the emo rate, so this is a welcome change of pace. I'm really happy for this. This is like full-blown pop, and it's like weird pop too. Like I'd see this on like, somebody made the connection that it sounded like a Talking Heads song. Like this is going to be their Remain in Light era, and I accept that wholeheartedly. Like this sounds experimentatious. That's not a word, but I'm going to keep it anyway. And it's just genuinely like new and interesting. Since the other 2 didn't listen to it, what do you think, Doc?
Oh, well, it's when I first listened to it, I was like, okay. I think it's how you felt about Lust for Life. It's definitely a grower. No pun intended, because the song is titled Hard Times. Hey,
Hey.
PG.
PG-13. But I really liked it. It really, I gave it a lot of listens, and now I can't stop playing it. And I love near the end of the song, it did this. I'm not sure if it's the right instrument. The synths.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I know
felt
exactly
so
what you're
good.
talking about.
It made me go dance crazy and all that. Miranda's impact. Yeah, I really love this song, and I'm really curious what their new album sounds like after this, because I'd like to bring this out because this type of sound that Paramore is doing right now is so dramatically different from the songs they made a decade ago. And since you're a Paramore stan, what are your thoughts on this? Because I feel like this is the type of sound that would alienate a lot of hardcore stans. So I'm curious how you feel as a huge Paramore fan.
Well, what I think is that over time their sound progressed along with the band, so that it was very, very casual, and now that they're making like full-blown pop stuff, there's still pop punk influence in it, but it's not as big, and you could see that segue through all of their albums. Like Riot was a pop punk album through and through, but it was kind of poppy in the riffs and stuff. And I think that was the beginning of like their segue, like their last album, the self-titled album. It had like hit pop singles that like reached really high on the charts, like Ain't It Fun and Still Into You. Like those are both genuinely pop songs.
Yeah.
And then like also going off of like The Only Exception, like that song is played everywhere. I don't know anybody that doesn't know The Only Exception because of how big of an impact it made on pop radio.
Yeah.
So you come segueing through all of these different sounds, and I think it's only natural that they ended up where they are now, because they're taking their like punkish influences, but as punk progressed into new wave in like the 80s, that's what they're doing now. They take the pop punk and they progress it into something new and different. And I think they're definitely going to take these new wave sounds and kind of push them further.
We're a huge sucker for those type of sounds, so yeah, I think the album is definitely going to be good.
Cool. So segueing into one of our main topics, which a lot of time has passed already, but that's okay. Album of the year so far. We have reached the end of Q1 of the year so far, and there's been a number of like prolific releases that have come out, both on the indie spectrum, pop spectrum, hip hop spectrum. And there's been a bunch of releases that have got really good releases. I mean, really good ratings upon first release, but also really bad ratings, like the Chainsmokers.
Do not open.
Yep.
Oh.
Like what?
Chainsmokers. And
Don't say it around Doc. He liked that album.
so, yeah, as we come to this like point in the year, I think it's good to talk about what releases we thought were especially good. And album of the year so far, Material. So, yeah, Commas, what do you think?
All right. Well, my main album of the year is Damn. It has grown on me so hard since the beginning. I'm not going to talk about it that much because, you know, it's hip hop. But I just wanted to say how much I love the Kendrick and Rihanna collab on Loyalty.
Oh my god, yes.
Yes.
Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. I like that song.
Yep, just three of those songs, DNA, Element, and Humble, have made my top 5 songs of the year so far. But on to pure pop. My favorite project is Charlie XCX's Number One Angel.
Yes,
I
same.
love her.
Yeah.
I love the PC music influence. I think it's really cool. That's the best pure pop project in my opinion. And then I also liked other pop, Zara Larson's album.
Oh, I still haven't
interesting.
listened to that.
Me neither.
Was it good?
Yikes, you're behind.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm behind.
it's good.
It's not a very special album. It's a good debut for her. There are a couple of problems there and there, and I wish it was a better album, but this is just her international debut album, so I would rather not be harsh on it because Zara Larson, she's getting there as long as she's not messy on Twitter. But yeah, I can see potential in her.
I'm not going to say much more than Commas did about my album of the year because it's also Damn. And Damn, I thought, honestly, wasn't amazing when I first, but like Commas said, it's grown on me.
Oh, man.
And now it's my album of the year.
I think I'm the only person, like, ever, not ever, but, like, I'm the only person on Reddit and on Twitter that still is, like, iffy on Damn. Like, it's grown on me, but not infinitely much.
I still would probably put it as my third favorite Kendrick Lamar album, which shows how great his library is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Same.
As far as stuff that's more like pop charts type stuff.
I like them too, but
Honestly,
I'm just really irked by critics saying, "Oh my gosh, this is better than To Pimp a Butterfly." I'm just like, really?
I think it's
close.
close. I don't think there's that much of a difference in quality to me between the two. I think they're around the same
Really
level.
interesting.
But I think Good Kid, Mad City's better than either one.
Right.
That's a
I
hot
haven't
take.
heard that album.
Honestly, the
Actually, that's not really a hot take.
yeah,
but
that's not a hot take at all.
yeah, I don't know what I
Kendrick-
was saying there.
Albums each have like a ton of fans, except maybe Section 80. I don't think that many people would put it as his best.
Any pop releases?
Short
Chainsmokers.
It's kind of like, I don't know, but like, yeah, that's my favorite. Fucking love the Chainsmokers. But seriously, like, honestly, I think the most directly pop-related release that I'd praise, and I know this isn't going to be a popular opinion. I know a lot of people haven't like ambivalence towards this project still, but I really like More Life. And I think it's a really good project.
Oh, dude.
And it has a lot of great songs on it. More Life is...
All right, nice podcast, everybody. Bye. See you next month.
Bye-bye.
More Life is really good.
I don't know. More Life is probably one of my least favorite projects this year. And even though, like, I've grown on certain songs... No. I've grown on some songs, but, like, overall, it's just really generic, and I can't listen to it without putting me to sleep. Like, my favorite songs are the ones that different people did that Drake isn't even on. Like, Skepta Interlude's my favorite song on More Life, and you know who's not on that song? Drake. So, like, I think it just puts me to sleep or whatever. I don't even know. The only songs I still revisit from there are Skepta Interlude, 4422, Free Smoke, which is a good song despite the Drake presence, and KMT, because Giggs's verse is like my favorite on that album.
Honestly, I like, even as somebody who thinks More Life's at the very least like a very solid project, I will agree that holy shit, this needed to have like 10 less songs on it.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe
Most of
10.
the second half,
maybe a little
except
less.
for Glow, could be gone.
What's up with Drake and his long albums?
I'd honestly cut it down. I get it that it's a playlist, but I feel like this also could have been a really good album. Honestly, a better album than Views, and I think even with the too many tracks, I think it's a better project altogether than Views.
Oh, wow.
But
hot take.
Yeah, and honestly, I think there's a lot of but I still think there's so much potential in this track list. Like Passion Fruit, I love.
Same.
Madiba Rhythm, Blem, Guilechester, Portland, Glow. Like, holy shit, like, I love half the album at the very least. And I like that Drake did so much to widen his sound. Like, he's always been a guy who's worked in different lanes. And I like that he went with all different Views. I really liked the dance hall stuff. I know that I get it. I get it's so hard that there's a lot of cultural appropriation talk about it. But I honestly, I've had a hard time caring too much just because I really like most of the Drake's tropical dance hall type stuff, and that continues on this. I really like all of the dance hall stuff on More Life. And I really like that he went into house and pop and along with keeping his old sounds. Just a really good project. And yeah, honestly, that's probably my favorite. I don't know if it's straight a pop release, but I think it has enough of a varied sound and so much chart success that I'd honestly put it on my best pop release.
No, Drake's definitely a pop artist. I think it's safe to say that with this much chart success and the sound that he's pursuing with this dance hall type stuff and looking at Passion Fruit and stuff, I think it's safe to say that Drake is a full-blown pop artist at this point in time.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to be on a kind of a line. Views, he started with a hip hop single and a pop single.
Yeah.
And he's doing that with this too. He had Fake Love and Passion Fruit, but he also Free Smoke is apparently a single.
Really?
I'm on Wikipedia and it has it as a single.
I thought Free Smoke was a good song.
Free Smoke's a dope song.
Yeah, no, it's a good song. It's definitely warmed up to me. That's one of the ones that I keep putting on replay.
Yeah. I prefer Passion Fruit.
But I mean, I think that there's certain songs on there that they just seem generic. It seems like it's 5 of the same song, and I know Views had this issue too, and maybe that comes with length, but if I didn't hear Passion Fruit on the radio 24/7, I wouldn't have been able to tell it apart from Blem and Madiba Rhythm or whatever. A lot of them do sound the same, and I don't particularly like Passion Fruit, but looking at the other songs on the album, all the other dancehall stuff, it sounds generic.
Damn. Killing me.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
Me. Doc. favorite album of the year, I think I'll repeat what Comas said in his. I'll repeat what Comas answered, and I'll say Number One Angel by Charlie XCX. I mean, it's technically not an album, but it does feel like an album for me, so I'll just consider it. And I really love the PC music production here. It's definitely really good. Thing is, I may as well say I did say that it does sound like PC music, but it sort of is not, and I think it's a good thing for me that I would not consider this as a PC music project for me, but it's still a good album if that makes any sense.
It sounds like watered down PC music, and I don't mean that as a bad thing. Like, I love PC music and I love this album. This is probably my like pop album of the year so far.
Yes.
I keep going back to it. I love it. But I think it's watered down PC music, and I don't mean that as a bad thing. It's good. It makes it more accessible, and like I've actually recommended this mixtape to people and been like, listen to these sounds. This is what's going to be new in pop music.
Yeah.
Because it takes the core like electronic sort of weird PC music thing going on, and then takes it and makes it accessible for a wider audience. And you see that on songs like Drugs, which are like PC music doing like meth and something, or like on crack. That's a really bad description, but like it basically takes like the trap sounds and makes it PC musicified, which is basically, in my opinion, what's going to be part of pop music in like a few years, maybe months, but that's the next trend, and Charlie XCX harnesses that.
Yeah, definitely. I do agree it feels like watered down PC music, but it's not a bad thing, because the thing is with PC music, it's actually a bit of a decisive type of music, and which is why I feel like because it's watered down, I think it's a good thing, because it's a very niche type of music. So and Number One Angel, I feel like it feels like a really like a good introduction for people who want to get into PC music.
Yeah.
Entry level.
Yeah. I feel like my favorite songs in there, obviously it's the Cupcake collaboration, which is Lip Gloss.
Doc, please.
But it's one of my favorites. One of my top favorite is
Doc. Think about the people you're in this podcast with.
But wait. My top favorite is definitely I Love You Too. It's definitely
Same.
True.
I think I have a bias though, because Danny L. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I'll just say Huge Danny is the producer of this, and he's definitely my favorite PC music producer, because he knows how to make PC music accessible to everyone. And it's definitely my favorite song on the mixtape.
Okay. So my personal I have a different like outlook on the albums of the year that you guys have mentioned so far. Number One Angel is definitely my favorite pop release, because I don't know if I would consider it pop, because it's this weird hybrid of a bunch of different genres, and the hook power on that is crazy, which is probably what makes it pop. But if I were to consider my like favorite pop album, I would probably go the route of promoting my irrelevant, not they're relevant, but like my flop faves, Jamiroquai.
Cool.
The hat guy.
They released, you might know him from the hit single of the 90s, Virtual Insanity, and guess what? They're still making music, surprisingly. So Virtual Insanity is one of my favorite songs, like, ever, and Jamiroquai kind of does this thing where they take funk sounds and jazz and they put them together, and like neo influences come from every single facet of the music industry. They just put it all together. But this album is definitely their best, I think, because it harnesses the energy that they've taken from all their previous albums, but adds a little bit of like futuristic tone, which makes it like transcend that sort of dated neo jazz vibe. I don't know if you guys have heard it, probably not, because they're sort of irrelevant, but Automaton, their lead single and also the title track, is my favorite song that's released this year. It's like it's very forward, and like in its pop influences, and it's very hooky, and there's so much to like dissect in that song. Listen to it, please. There's like 10 different hooks. There's just constant electronic sounds coming at you from every single angle, making it like sonically just definitely deep to listen to. But the sad part is that their lead keyboardist, Toby Smith, that came up with a lot of their typical Jamiroquai sound, the neo-jazz stuff, he died like a week after Automaton was released.
Oh no.
So it's kind of like a swan song for the band.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really sucks.
Yeah. Probably because I've talked about it, but
that's sad.
It's definitely like the band's swan song because the keyboardist came up with a lot of their sound and their energy, and he's the reason why songs like Virtual Insanity made such a cultural impact, because it sounds like futuristic while also being this funk disco sort of thing at the same time. And I think in hindsight that makes me appreciate this album a lot more because it is the same, like it's the same sound but better, and it makes me upset that this will probably be their last album, considering that the main source of their sound is now gone. So other releases I've enjoyed that aren't as good, but like aren't as poppy, or like Joey Badass's album All American Badass. I thought that was a great pop rap album. And also Home Shake's indie album Fresh Air is also very good in ambient stuff. But
I just wanted
how could I forget about Sampa? Sorry.
Yeah,
I forgot
I was
about
about to
Sampa.
say Process.
Yeah, Process is actually my album of the year. I don't know why I overlooked it, but aside from Jamiroquai and aside from Number One Angel, Sampha is probably better than all of those albums that I mentioned. It's definitely a great album, and probably one of the most rewarding listens I've listened to this year, because every track just gives me like this great feeling and stuff like that. Punk, were you the one that was going to talk about it?
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to say much. I just wanted to say Process is definitely like that top three with me is Damn, Process, and More Life. And also I just want to bring up I See You by the XX, because that's number 4.
Yes.
Great indie pop
Good
album.
My top 3 is very similar. It's Damn, Process, and Hendrix by Future.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, personally, I think my top 3, like rated, is Sampha, Jamiroquai, and then Charlie XCX, with All American Badass coming in at 4th. But I feel like Automaton has separate artistic merit, which is why I felt like I should talk about it, because not everybody has listened to that album. So, what about you, Doc?
All right. My top 3 is, of course, top one is definitely Number One Angel by XCX, and number 2 is Kendrick Lamar's Damn. Period. And top 3 is
All right, let's move on. I think we all know what number 3 is.
Yes, Ed Sheeran's Divide. Okay, it's not a bad album. Okay, I won't passionately defend it. But I do feel like this circle jerk that is going on with Ed Sheeran is a little bit too much, because yeah, he did say some really stupid shit. I'll admit that. But honestly, I just don't hate this album. I thought it's a solid album, and I really like a lot of songs here. From which songs did I like? I definitely like Galway Girl. That's one of my favorite songs on the album. I like a lot of songs here, and yeah, it's not a bad album. I definitely said something that is very controversial on terms of pop heads, but it's not a bad album as a lot of people and pop heads would like to think it is. So yeah.
So segueing really quick off of that into our worst albums of the year, my worst album of the year is Divide. And
Me too.
I don't like it at all. I do not like it. It gave me headaches when I listened to it. I actually audibly groaned at like a lot of the tracks and was like, I can't do this. Gave it a 5 and then moved on. I feel like he's trying to do a lot of stuff. Yeah, go ahead. All yours.
My worst album of the year is fucking Memories Do Not Open by the goddamn Chainsmokers.
Yes, I agree with you.
I feel like talking even a little about Memories Do Not Open is putting in more effort than they actually did into making the album. It's such a lazy cash grab with generic uninteresting production and vocals. I am just like I was honestly not even like mad at the album when I was listening to it. I was just bored. Break Up Every Night is probably my least favorite song released this year. It's awful. I hate it. It like and like even the singles that came out, there was like maybe a song or two that was I'd give over like a 6 out of 10. But honestly, it was just start to finish, just like complete, just bad. I've made no secret that I don't like the Chainsmokers, but this was not like this. Like took my low expectations, and it was lower than my expectations.
I'm gonna have to agree with Fourth. My least favorite album this year has been Divide. Divide
Yes.
is a bad album and not a good album. I only liked Castle on the Hill out of the entire album.
True.
I hate Shape of You.
Yes, Castle on the Hill is very, very good and in my top 10 songs of the year so far.
I wouldn't put it that high, but I like it.
But that's the only redeeming quality to that dog shit pile of an album.
I didn't even listen to Divide, honestly. I saw like 18 tracks and I was like, nope. I don't even like Ed Sheeran. I'm not listening to that.
So, moving on, we've talked about our album of the year so far. But what are your guys' most anticipated releases? We have a lot of good albums coming up. The ones that are legitimately slated for dates are the Harry Styles album, Paramore, Lil Yachty's album. Going into June, we have Halsey, Bleachers, the new Sufjan project, which I am excited for.
Oh, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Sufjan. It's like Suf and then Yan. No. Sufjan Stevens. It is a name to suit the sound of his music. Flop. Personally, my most exciting anticipated projects are mostly indie projects. Like I'm very excited for the Mac DeMarco album.
Yeah, that's
as well
gonna be good.
as well as the Sufjan album. And my irrelevant indie faves, Tiger Jaw, are releasing an album on May 19th, so peep that. But on the pop spectrum of things, my most anticipated album that's actually confirmed and slated to release is probably the Harry Styles album.
Who?
I really liked Sign of the Times, and I know Punk has words about that song, so I'll keep it to a minimum. But that's definitely one of my favorite songs this year, and I think I love the aesthetic he's going for with this. Sign of the Times is this very older music influenced song that takes influence from, like, I hear a lot of Oasis in it and that sort of sound. And I could also get hints of like early glam rock. Like when I was listening to it, it reminded me of Life on Mars-esque David Bowie, like sort of sounds taken from that and put in to like the chorus and stuff. It just seemed really grand and different to what's on radio now. Like I would hear this like 30, 20 years ago. And I really like that. And I think that's what he's going for with this whole aesthetic. Like his album cover and everything, it just gives off throwback vibes. And I'm just really excited for the direction he's going for. I feel like Harry Styles is trying to do something different, and he might actually succeed because it's actually good music. Anybody else for Harry? Comments?
Oh, yeah, I do. I really like this direction that Harry's going for.
Yeah.
I like this trend of newer artists doing throwback music. I would never thought Columbia Records would let him do the music he actually wants to do, because I honestly think they would force him to do pop music, but no, they gave him a lot of creative control with this, and this new album of his will only have 10 songs.
Yeah, I think that is definitely a plus because a lot of albums are oversaturated with the amount of tracks, so I think this has potential to be a really good album because everything's condensed.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm really excited for what Harry Styles will do from here.
Punk, what do you think is coming up recently that you'll be excited for?
Okay. So as far as stuff that has a date, I honestly, and this is going to kind of date the podcast a lot because, well, more than everything has already because this album's literally coming out in like 24 hours. But Humans by Gorillaz is definitely like stuff that has a date.
Wait,
Oh,
that comes out
shit.
tomorrow?
Yeah, 28th.
Yo. Oh my god.
I can't wait. I love the Andromeda.
I didn't know that.
I really like the rest of the singles. I feel like they've done like a great job of like coming back and like showing that they haven't missed a step at all.
Mm-hmm.
As far as stuff that's more of like a pipe dream, I kind of have to go with TurboGrafx 16 by Kanye West, which
Oh man, give it up. That's not coming out anytime soon.
And while I'm on stuff that will probably never come out, Masochism by Sky Ferreira, probably never gonna happen. And of course, I can't forget the upcoming That Poppy album, which is gonna be amazing.
Oh, yes.
Oh, true. I forgot about that. There's a lot of albums that like are supposed to come out that don't have dates.
I'm Poppy really
like the
grew on
LCD
me.
Sound System album. I'm really hyped for, but that doesn't have a date.
Oh, same. Oh my god.
Yeah, my list is just full of stuff that doesn't have a real date. Like, I just made a list just now. It's like Kanye, Gorillaz, which actually has a date, ironically, Designer, Arcade Fire, Casey Hill, Tyler, the Creator, stuff like that.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of unconfirmed dates like Haim, Schoolboy Q. All of these high-profile artists are, like, have albums confirmed for this year virtually, but they're not, like...
SZA.
Yeah, like SZA, but they don't have a date yet, which is kind of inconvenient. What about you, Commas?
I'm looking forward to, on the pop side of things, KP4, obviously. It's looking like it could come out in May because she was just announced to be on the season finale of SNL if that ends up coming out, because of the writer's strike. Yeah. But it means that music is ready, and I think it's coming soon.
Bon appetit.
Also, Dua Lipa's self-titled album. Really excited for that. Yeah, I know. And on like the hip hop side of things, I'm looking forward to A$AP Rocky, Designer,
True,
and Jazz Cartier.
Forgot him too.
So, also an album that I didn't mention that I'm really excited for. Halsey's album. Actually, I'm excited to see.
I am too, honestly.
No, I'm serious. I'm excited to see the direction she takes after coming off of something like Badlands. I think a lot more people in the general population know who she is now because of the massive mega hit that was Closer. So I am excited to see where she takes these pop sounds in her new album.
Is it too bold of a prediction to say that Halsey will do, like, say, Selena numbers with this new album because Closer was so popular?
I think that's too bold. I think she might push about 100,000 first week, but I don't think she's going to get more than like 150.
Yeah.
I think Closer was a huge hit, but I don't think it made Halsey a household name. At least not to the levels that it made the Chainsmokers.
Oh, damn.
But at the same time, Now or Never didn't do big numbers, so...
Yeah.
I can't get over the name, honestly. That's such a terrible album name.
Oh, Hopeless Fountain Kingdom, right?
Yeah. It just sounds like she put words in a generator.
Tumblr, the album.
But, yeah. Is that it, guys? Anything else you want to cover before we go?
I haven't said anything.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Doc. I'm sorry. I'll edit
We're
this
so
part.
used to Doc talking that we're forgetting when he's not talking.
I talk too much, so I kind of understand why But, okay, my anticipated releases that, I feel like we're getting closer into is definitely, Katy Perry's new album, definitely. I feel like Commas summed up how I feel, so I'll skip. Yeah, Bon Appetit coming out tomorrow.
Bon Appetit.
Tomorrow. Well, when this is recorded. And, one thing's for, I'm definitely excited for Lana Del Rey's new album, Lust for Life. She's definitely getting into this new era of hers, and I'm really enjoying this as a fan of hers. I'm definitely interested on what her new album sounds like. I feel like I might have given myself very high expectations with this record, but I feel like this could be my favorite Lana Del Rey album for sure. And
big words.
Wow.
Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, I hope I don't overhype myself with this. So please, Lana, make this album really good, like to the point it's better than Born to Die. But yeah, and as for an album that doesn't have a release date. I feel like this would be a controversial opinion.
Don't say
Um,
it.
Don't.
TS6.
Oh my god.
TS6.
All right.
Doc is canceled.
Ugh.
I'll give my quick thoughts on this.
Demodded.
Oh
quick-
my god.
Oh my
Banned.
gosh. Okay. Thing with TS6.
You're in the minority here, Doc, so
Okay, here's the thing. I do hope it's not actually releasing this year. I feel like we need a bit more of a break from Taylor. But if she
Hopefully.
does end up
we need a 12-year break from Taylor. Anyway.
Until she dies, honestly.
if she does release a new album this year, I'm very curious how her music would sound, because I feel like her America's Sweetheart image is definitely broken. The GP doesn't care, okay, whatever. But what about the pop fans like us? It's definitely going to be interesting how her music would sound. So I hope she does not try to be like, oh, I'm still an America's Sweetheart. No, definitely not.
Urban Dark Taylor.
Oh no, urban, no.
No.
But definitely Dark Taylor. I hope this is the case. She should not do urban sound. That's definitely not her music.
Taylor featuring Migos, Bon Appetit.
From a Taylor stan, do you think that she's gonna have sounds like I Don't Want to Live Forever? Like, do you think that's what her next album will sound like? Because it's dark, it's from a 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack. Like, do you think that's what she's going for?
I hope not.
To, like, segue?
I hope not. I hope not. Maybe. I Don't Want to Live Forever. Is probably an experiment, more like a testing ground, whether her fans would like her new dark look on her. But I can, from basing on the music video, which is kind of awkward, I would admit. But if I do feel like she can get there, but the song itself, oh my god, I hope it's better than whatever the fuck she did with that song. But I hope maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll have to find out on the fall, because that's apparently when Taylor likes to release her music. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, so I feel like we're forgetting something.
Oh, what?
Oh, what?
Do not forget that the Queen of Pop Heads is currently recording her next album, so it could come out this year.
True!
Forgetting about Carly
Oh
Rae
my
Jepsen.
Oh my god, how did
Oh
I
my
forget
gosh.
about that?
Oh my god.
99 Cent Dreams?
Disco Carly.
Question mark? About to
Disco.
come out?
I don't think that's the name. I think that was just like a pretty light she took a picture with.
Oh, no, I think
Yeah.
so too. But apparently that's the thing going around right now. So that's like when everybody thought
I'm hyped.
Katie's album name, well, it still could be that, but the one that's like Unplugged to, what is it? Unplugged to Connect?
Oh my god.
That's such a stupid name. I hope that's not
That'd
it.
be tragic. I don't think that's real. I think it's going to be called Witness, actually.
Oh,
I'd love
shit,
that,
I would love that
actually.
too.
It's going to be called Last Week Tonight with Katy Perry.
Okay, so
Yeah, that was it.
yeah. Okay, so that's our podcast, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay. So
yeah.
we covered basically everything that's happened in the new year since our last podcast came out. I don't even remember where that was. So, hopefully this isn't too dated by the time this gets out to you guys. But yeah, signing off. I don't know how to end this. Somebody help me.
Stream Damn on Spotify.
Watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Stream Damn on Spotify. Buy Bon Appetit on iTunes if it's out, or that's the name of the single or whatever. Buy Greenlight on iTunes, even though Punk hates it.
No, don't.
Watch Guardians of the Galaxy.
Don't encourage her to make more sellout shit like that.
Watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 on May 5 in theaters. Yeah.
Who?
Listen to Humans when it comes out on Doc's weird, like, Dubai service streaming thing.
I use Tidal now, okay?
Okay, it seems
Okay.
like we are done.
All right. On that note, thanks for listening. I'm 4th of July.
I'm Commas. Are you guys going to do this, or?
I'm Punk, since Doc isn't going to say anything. I'm Punk.
And I'm Doc.
All right. See you guys next podcast.
See you in 2018.
Bye.
Next year.
Yeah.
Next year, yeah.
At this
We're
rate.
doing one a year.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Bye.
You're still fired, Doc, by the way.